Hello everyone. Today I'm presenting the topic Declining Power of Dollar. How sanctions are reshaping global business. My name is Anurag Samuel. I'm presenting this topic in International Business BUSN 6031. First we look at the thesis statement. As we all know, US dollar remains the one of the most world dominant reserve currency and most tradable currency in current financial system. But its supremacy is being challenged by a growing wave of geopolitical sanction, financial weaponization used by the USA, and the strategic currency diversification taken by the central banks of different countries. Global trade dynamics are shifting, which forcing business firms to rethink their currency risk, different payment system to use, and the strategic religions in a divided financial system. We look out the historical context of dollar. How did dollar become the king? In 1920, post World War II, the dollar overtook the British pound, making the most tradable currency. After 1944, in Bretton Woods Agreement, most of the country decided USD will become the central reserve currency. In 1971, President Richard Nixon decided to delink the dollar from the gold, making it fiat currency. In 1973, OPEC country decided the dollars will be paid in exchange of their export of oil. From 1990s to 2000, in the era of globalization, the USD remains one of the most dominant currency, but it was declining due to the pressure from other currency like euro and the yuan. After the 2020, there was a shifting landscape. There was a pressure from the alternative systems. Example, the BRICS payment system that we look out in the other slides. So, is de-dollarizations really happening? When we look on the right hand side, there is a related drop in the reserve share since 2060 from 16.5% to approx 57%. There's a drop of 14% approx in the USD reserve share. So why this is happening? There's a different event that happened from 2014 to 2024. In 2014, the USA began de-dollarization strategy, making it the US forex reserve at minimum. In 2018, the USA sanctioned Iran, making it barring to use of USD. Also, the euro oil and gold become alternative after 2018. In 2020, SIPS payment cross-border interpayment system by the China, which was expanding in the South Global Asia. In 2022, after the Russia-Ukraine war, the USA banned the Russia from taking the SWIFT system. In 2023, the BRICS pay pilot were emerging. The gold surge reserve were also increasing, and the local currency deals happening in between the BRICS country. So we look out why and some countries are leading the de-dollarizations. Why this is happening? There are different factors. First, we look out the global push factor. The sanction made dollar risky. After the Russia-Ukraine war, the USA froze Russia $300 billion in reserves, made many countries doubtful that this could happen to them also. So US dollar aren't very much safe. There's also over dependence on SWIFT from different countries, which is a vulnerability from countries like China. The USA can cut off these countries and can cripple economic systems and alternatives that are built on the system. Also, trade wars shook confidence between different countries. Tariff since 2018 dented fade in dollar-linked trade, which made to lower their US forex reserves. So we look out the which countries are leading the de-dollarization. First is the China. China developed its cross-border interpayment system and the digital yuan, which made the policy that the trade should be happen in yuan. They also have the infrastructure to support the system. After 2014, the Russia created its Amaya, a domestic cash system, which enabled them to use ruble as their main currency. Also, they increased their gold reserve They sell energies in ruble and yuan mostly. So BRICS countries also created a new financial system, which is a big pay, and they piloted trade mostly happening in the local currency. So we look at the Porter diamond model system. Why some countries are moving away from the dollar? First, we look at the factor condition. So China has that system which made SIPs to support yuan as an alternative to USD. Second, there's a demand between the countries. There's a growing internal demand in the BRICS and the Asian countries for local currency system, which made them cheaper to their trades. So also we look at the related and supporting industry. There are robust bank which are supporting different alternative payment system. Digital platform are there. There are state-led system which easing the shifting from USD to other alternative payment system. And also we look at the firm strategy, structure, and the rivalry. Are the emerging economies like Brazil and India, which are strategically in, incenting the local firms to use their local currency and avoid the USD risk. Now, we look at the manager implication. What global firm must do in their era of changing, of currency changing era? First, they must diversify their currency exposure. They hold their reserves in euro, yuan, and mostly gold. They must avoid over concentration in the USD. Next, they must build a financial resilience system, use currency hedging, forward contracts, and local pricing to minimize the USD risk, and also include foreign exchange clauses in their contracts. Next, they must adopt the cross payment border system they used by the other countries. For example, they must enable system like SIPs, big space system where it's relevant to have a trade with these countries. They also build a resilient system against SWIFT cutoffs, as we seen in the with happened with the Russia. Also, they maintain a global and the local strategy. Let local units maintain their trades in the currency they want to, but for the compliance, must have the control at the headquarters to manage the financial risk. So, to conclude, US dollar remain one of the most dominant currency, but its relative power is shrinking, as we seen in the previous slide. The combination of sanction, the reserve freeze made by the USA, the shift-based isolation done by the USA had made other countries doubtful, especially in the global south. Is dollar system is really reliable? What we are seeing is not the collapse of the global financing, but its restructuring into a multipolar system. The nations are preparing for a world with multiple reserves, trade currency, supported by the system like SIPs, BRICS Pay, and gold-backed systems. For us, students like international business students and also the global firms, they must embrace the multi-currency frameworks, diversify their geopolitical risks, and enable the region-specific planning to diversify the risk of USD. This isn't about just a financial system. It's about creating a resilience and the governance in the fragmented global economy. As the Atlantic Council noted, the dollar dominance is giving way to dollar management. The smart firms are already preparing for this new currency reality. In the end, here are the references that I used for my this presentation. This is the news article which I've taken the data from and the news. In the end, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic.